Most people never fail because of a lack of talent. They don't fail because the opportunity wasn't there. They fail because they feared one thing more than anything else: the responsibility that comes with greatness. They fear becoming the person they were born to be, not because they can't, but because they know they can. And if they can, then the excuses must die. The comfort must die. The illusions, the distractions, the lies, they all have to die. And most people aren't ready for that funeral. Because once you admit you're capable of more, there's no going back. Once you see what's possible, you can't unsee it. And the world doesn't let you hide anymore. It demands more. It calls your name in the silence. Most people fear that voice. They run from it. They drown it in noise, in comfort, in distraction. But that voice, that whisper, that's the real you. That's your power trying to rise. It's easy to dream when it costs nothing. It's easy to imagine when it's all theory. But to step forward, to act on your potential, that requires confrontation. Confrontation with your fear of failure, your fear of success, your fear of responsibility, and most of all, your fear of being seen. To truly show up, to be judged, to risk being wrong. That's the fear that buries kings before they were crowned. Look around you. Edison failed 10,000 times, 10,000 public failures. People laughed, but he wasn't chasing their approval. He was chasing truth. Lincoln lost more elections than he won, but he wasn't running for applause. He was running toward mission. Carnegie came from poverty. Ford had no pedigree. Disney was fired for lacking imagination. But they all shared one trait. They weren't afraid to own their power. Because here's the secret. Power doesn't corrupt. It exposes. And most people fear that exposure. They fear what will be revealed when they no longer have excuses. When the mask is gone and it's just them and the work. Them and the weight of their choices. Them and the echo of their purpose. So they stay small. They blend in. They perfect the art of almost. Almost started. Almost committed. Almost became who they were meant to be. But the graveyard is filled with almosts. Silent legacies. Quiet regret. The pain of never becoming. That pain is far worse than failure. See, the universe doesn't hand you your destiny. It dares you to claim it. It hides your power behind tests, behind discomfort, behind nights where doubt screams louder than your dreams. And the only way through it is to rise anyway. Not when it's easy, when it's necessary. Your mind is a battlefield. Every day, the war is the same. Will I lead or will I follow fear? Will I command my life or let my life command me? Discipline isn't punishment, it's freedom. Vision isn't fantasy, it's fuel. And belief? Belief is the fire that melts resistance. Most people think belief is something you wait for, something that shows up when the stars align. But belief is forged in the dark, in the lonely hours when no one claps for you, when no one sees you, when you're building in silence with no proof but your conviction. That's belief, and it's the rarest currency in this world. But belief without action is wasted. You can know you're powerful and still live powerless if you don't move, if you don't decide. Every empire was built on the back of a decision. Every legend was once a nobody who chose, who said this ends with me. The doubt, the fear, the lineage of limitation. It ends here. Purpose is not found. It is built, hammered out on the anvil of repetition, discipline, obsession. And you cannot build it if you're afraid of being the one holding the hammer. Most people are terrified of leading themselves. They want someone to give them the map. But the truth is, the map is inside you, and the only way to reveal it is to walk. One step, then another, then another. There is no magic moment, no lightning strike, just brutal clarity. That if you don't take control, someone else will. If you don't choose your path, society will hand you one. Already paved, already traveled, leading nowhere worth going. Adaptability, resilience, hunger. These are the virtues of the 1%. Not because they're gifted, but because they're ready. Ready to face what others run from. Ready to be misunderstood. To be alone. To lose sleep. To burn bridges that led to nowhere. ready to face themselves. Success doesn't come to the most talented. It comes to the most truthful, to those who stop lying to themselves, who stop saying, "I'm not ready," who stop pretending they don't know what they want, who own the cost of greatness and pay it daily. That cost is discomfort, repetition, pain, progress, falling, rising, falling again, and still showing up, still believing, still becoming. There is no shortcut, only ownership, only responsibility. And that's what most people fear. Because when you take responsibility, you can no longer blame. You can no longer wait. You can no longer hide behind your parents, your past, your boss, your education, or your circumstance. When you take responsibility, you take command. And with command comes pressure. Pressure to live up to your potential. Pressure to perform. Pressure to grow. But pressure is not your enemy. It's the birthplace of diamonds. The birthplace of transformation. Nothing great was ever born without pressure. You were not born to blend in. You were born to rise. But to rise, you must face what most people avoid. Their own power. Their own truth. Their own responsibility. You must bury your fear of being seen. You must bury your fear of outgrowing who you've been. The old version of you, the one that played small, is not invited into the future you're building. Burn the blueprint. Build a new one, not based on who you've been, but who you choose to become. Do not consult your past for permission. Consult your vision. Let it scream louder than your doubt. Let it echo through every cell in your body. Let it become you, because in the end, the ones who make it, the ones who leave their mark, are not the ones who have the most support or the easiest start. They're the ones who decided, who stepped forward in the dark, who feared the responsibility of greatness, and walked into it anyway. And that is the moment your life begins.